And Halifax get the second half underway, looking to continue where they left off at the end of that first half with those late flurry of tries, putting them back in front in this game. Never in charge, neither side has really been in charge in this game yet.
And Halifax in that first half, they made 37 tackles more than the opposition, but they managed to still make 7 breaks. They're a team that do take the opportunities, but I'm sure Daryl Powell would have said to his troops, get out there and make sure you start slowing the ruck down, because Penkovic, Ben Black will jump at every opportunity.
Wayne Price. Halifax trying to bottle him up. Featherstone trying to recapture the momentum they had at one point. Saxton goes on a run. That's the 5th tackle.
Go.
Kane. Kicking behind Haley, and Haley just for a moment looked as though he was going to go for that, but then decided to let it run dead. Let's go down to the sidelines, get some half-time news from Rod Studd.
Well, Bill, no question that the Halifax coaching duo were much happier at half-time than they would have been if the score had been what it was at 35 minutes when they were 8 points adrift. They're talking about improving their discipline and keeping things tight in the second half. They're pretty confident they can put some points on in the second period, as they did in the final 5 minutes of the first half. No particular injury worries for Halifax. For Featherstone Rovers, Daryl Powell wants his team to just stay in the game, get a foothold, keep things tight, stick to the game plan, force pressure like they did in that first 20 minutes or so, and they want to be still in this game with 10 minutes to go, because as he says, then anything can happen.
Penalty conceded by Featherstone Rovers. Marker's not square, so the momentum seems to be continuing with Halifax from that penalty. Ben Black finds Saeed Tamgart. Tamgart into the thick of it for Fax. Bang in front of those posts. Bezic now. Here's Wrench. Wrench, nice footwork from him, takes him away from the first tackler, but Featherstone come back to bring him down. Gleeson. Here's Govin. Govin, change of direction, gets the ball away. They're in for the try. It's Royston, I think, who's got it.
Video left to side that. Check the obstruction there, Ben, and the ground.
And again, a video ref referral.
They're having a look for obstruction and the double movement. We'll have a look at the play again. Halifax take it right up to the line, just in the middle of your screen. Now, does Andy Kirk read that situation wrongly, or do you penalise the Halifax player?
It's Lee Patterson who's come through. And Royston.
Well, you can see Andy Kirk, all he's doing is looking up at where the Featherstone defender is running. You can see it, Governor gets the ball, he takes it to the line. The dummy runner's doing his job. He's not even looking where the ball's going to get passed to. I think that's okay. It's if this is a double movement. This is what the video referee may be looking at. Ben Thaler, no. Ben Thaler still not happy with this.
I agree with you there, Tez. My initial thoughts were it was a bad read from Andy Kirk.
Well, you can see he's not even looking at where the ball's going.
I agree. It's whether Shad Royston still has a hand on him when he gets that ball down.
Look at Kirk's eyes there. His head is not looking at all at Shad Royston coming round the back. All he's doing is looking at what Patterson is doing. He's took the wrong option.
Crucial this decision could be, and it's a no-try. Obstruction it is. Lee Patterson's run doing the damage.
Now, I just think this is a shocking rule. If you know you're outnumbered, Kirk has come up with the wrong option. It's as simple as that. He's not looked at Royston coming round the back. Patterson's done his job as a dummy runner. Oh.
Do you mean it lets players who've misread the situation off the hook?
It does do, because if you know that you're outnumbered and you know that you're in trouble, all you'll do, you'll go in and you'll put your hands on the man who's coming through as the dummy runner.
Well, the other issue was a double movement. We didn't get that far, but there was a suspicion of that as well.
But take away that, you've got to credit the attack for doing that, and then the defence was at fault. It's as simple as that, Bill.
Surrender.
This was the double movement.
Well, was the first effort on the line? We'll never know what.
We will never know, because it was disallowed for the obstruction. So 18-16, it remains in favour of Halifax. Thought they'd got another try, but now they find Featherstone on the attack. Joe Hurst is tackled. Kane. Here's Ross Devorty, named in the Welsh squad this week. Ross Devorty, his dad Gary here, the former Leeds, Hull and Great Britain forward. Harris for Hardman. Featherstone rolling forward. Fifth tackle. McLaughlin looking at the referee, Ian Smith, saying, come on, sir, let's get a move on here. Kane kicks across the field. Saxton goes up for it. It's been knocked down. Still on the last, says the referee. Crossfield kick from Harris this time. Hockey will challenge for it. Price will challenge for it, but it's well taken. And the penalty conceded as Haley was taken in the air.
What an amazing passage of play, ending up in this crossfield kick. Wayne Price penalised for tackling Haley in the air.
So a relieving penalty for Halifax. Featherstone very quickly off the line to close down Saeed Tamgart. And Tamgart heading backwards at a rate of knots there. Great defence.
And there's not many teams that do that to big Saeed Tamgart.
They've got a real good attitude tonight, the Flat Cappers. They've turned up Featherstone Rovers, ready to defend and ready to hit and hurt when they do.
And they're making ground hard to find for Halifax this set of 6. Patterson complaining that that last tackle was high. Smith now. He feels the sting of this Featherstone Rovers defence.
And there is, Bill, there's a lot of sting. You can see the Halifax head rock backwards when there's the impact from Featherstone.
The kick into the arms of Wayne Price. Pouches that one like a fielder in the deep and then brings it back. It's a good chase from Halifax. Restrict his progress. Kane. Here is Hardman now, used to the big occasions. Ian Hardman from his St Helens days.
Wait, go.
On the halfway line, plays that ball. Likewise, this guy, Tom Saxton, Challenge Cup winner from his Hull FC days as well. So they've been around, a lot of these players have been around. They know the score. You're not talking about wet behind the ear rookies here, not for the most part.
And none more so than Yestin Harris, the number 6. He will be a calming influence as this game gets on.
And here he is, Harris now. Times his pass and finds Price. Price takes the ball on the bounce. The fans complaining that one drifted forward from Harris. Haley makes the tackle. Here is Yestin Harris again. Little chip kick over the top. And it's Larder back there to gather the ball.
That was a quality kick from Harris. I'm not sure whether he's going to be a calming influence. I think he's going to be a spark of inspiration. Look at him defending now. It's amazing, these half-backs. As they get older, sooner or later they drift into the pack. Justice is served. They have to do some defending then.
What about Yestin Harris making a swan song for his career at Warrington, where it all started for him as a professional, of course. It started across the other side of the town, but it could finish at Halliwell Jones. There he is.
10 metres, go.
It's Halifax with Govin. Govin trying to step out of trouble on the last. Oh, gets the ball away to Black. And you know what? Black fancies it, but didn't come off for Ben Black that time. I think he looked upfield. He thought, it's on here.
He spotted a little half gap, but it was really close. And Featherstone is so urgent in defence. Halifax have no opportunities going forward because they seem to be getting off the line, really compact in defence.
No time to breathe in this game. It really is frantic stuff here at the Shea. And McLaughlin trying to burst through. It was Gleeson who just grabbed a hold of an ankle there.
I just watched Yestin Harris's lips and he shouted, Ben Black.
Harris with the pass. Hockey. Hockey gets the ball away. Back to Harris. Kane. Kane for Devorty. Devorty keeps it alive. Harris again to Hockey. Hockey comes back across the field. Hockey straightens it up. It's a poor pass, but Hardman keeps it alive. Warranty could get a hold of this. He can't, and it comes to Kirk. It's harem-scarem stuff. Kirk back in field. Eventually he's tackled, and then the penalty is conceded for a flop. Well, somebody had to do something to slow this down. It's manic.
And Ian Smith had not seen that Rob Warranty had played at that ball. It was back to 1, but it was the 4th tackle. Oof, and Featherstone, Yestin Harris, he's decided to go for goal as there's the penalty.
There's no doubt about that penalty. Govan, second man in, flops down. There are the Flat Cappers. Featherstone Rovers fans here in numbers to support their side.
Who will
the game still in the balance.
Who will go level with this penalty from Yestin Harris. And an immaculate kicking effort from Harris this evening. Of course, golden points if we're level after 80 minutes. We're level now, 18 points apiece.
And the Barra chairman, Des Johnson, will be praying for the golden point. Both of these teams working really hard. There's a lot of sting in the second half, in the tackles. They know that they've only got 40 minutes to play, and then you earn your stripes and you get to the final. There's that calming influence, Iestyn Harris. I'm sure he will have a big influence in the last 30 minutes of this game.
Well, the last time these two sides met, July the 24th, it went down to the wire. Featherstone winning 22-20 here, and that needed a last-minute try and a conversion from Stuart Dickens that day to win it for Featherstone. We're going to have the same sort of drama here this evening. It certainly looks that much. Saxton now. He's held, cries the referee. Harris now. Hockey closed down by Haley, but wrestles himself free of that challenge. Now Hardman.
The width of that pass from Iestyn Harris would have tempted Ben Black, an intercept specialist.
Spears now. That's the fifth tackle. Kane shapes to kick across field, then hoists one right up the middle. Well, the earlier one of these caused trouble. That one's caused trouble. Devorty is chasing it. Has Ross Devorty got the try? Another video ref decision. They made the cardinal error of letting that ball bounce, standing and watching. Ross Devorty reckons he's got that. Try number 8 this season for him.
We're trying to see whether the Featherstone players are onside or offside. Just going off the shading of that pitch. It's difficult to tell. Mark Roberts doesn't know whether to catch it, let it bounce. He just tips it on. Ross Devorty fighting to get past players. Does he get downward pressure? Yes, he's got downward pressure.
Called into the Welsh squad this week, Ross Devorty. Dad Gary watching among the Featherstone Rovers supporters at the other end of the field. Awaits the decision from video ref Ben Thaler, and it is a try. And Featherstone Rovers are back in front.
It's just outside the
Well, the caps aren't being thrown into the air yet. Some way to go before they can go to those lengths. Ross Devorty, try number 8 of the season.
The fifth tackle, kick and hope from Featherstone has been working to good effect, and whenever you get good height and you make it a competition, you're always in with a chance.
Referee just asking one of the Halifax players to move out of line. Harris, 6 from 6 it is for him this evening, as it was last week against the Widnes Vikings. In that win, 24-18, Featherstone Rovers lead here.
You can't be caught in two minds as the ball goes up. Kane makes a little second play at the ball. You can see Roberts, he's caught in two minds. What should I do? I'll tap it back. Where's Ross Devorty? There he is for the try.
Stay behind, boys.
It's a good skill from Featherstone there. Andy Kane bobbles that ball, and for those players to stay onside until he's caught it, until he's kicked it, should I say, tremendous discipline.
So the lead changing hands again. Great athleticism from Devorty, great speedy reaction to get to that ball. Darryl Powell, well, one of the biggest wins of his coaching career came against Halifax. It was at Thrum Hall when he was a Keighley coach back in 1997, and his Keighley side beat the then Super League Halifax 21 points to 8 in a Challenge Cup tie. He's looking for another big win against Halifax here this evening. At the moment, his side are ahead, but you wouldn't really bank against Halifax coming back to recapture the lead. But if they continue to concede penalties like that...
Iestyn Harris is all over this pitch tonight. He's going from left to right. He's on the right. Good leg drive, and his haste to get up and play the ball forces Ian Smith, the referee, to make a decision. He's going to do all he can tonight to get Featherstone through to that final.
Patterson shaking his head in annoyance at that penalty. And here's Devorty.
1, 2 feet. 1, line.
Try scorer just a few minutes ago.
Big ladder.
Still over a quarter of this game to go. Tim Spears now.
Div on the line.
The Rovers forwards putting in a big effort. Kane. Mazy run across the field and almost through Andy Kane and very nearly helped towards the line.
Hold. Go.
Kane plays the ball. Again, they go close.
Move, Div, on your
It was
line.
McLaughlin, I think, who was stopped just short.
Go.
Harris now. Harris pass out wide, finds Spears, but so does the Halifax cover. Govin with the tackle.
Go.
Briggs now kicks across the field. That's going to be surely straight into the arms of James Haley. Too strong. They're looking for the quick restart. And the referee, blow of the whistle, tells them they can get on with it.
Good transition here from Halifax. They've been defending for a period. And Rob Warrency, with his speed and power, tries to get them out their own half.
And he's still going, Warrency, and keeps the ball alive. Finds Penkovic. Another member of this Welsh squad. Penkovic plays the ball. Ben Black. This time Black is stopped. Hurst it is with the tackle. Bezic now. 4 tackles gone. Penkovic, Black. Here is Govin now. Govin, nice ball from Govin, short ball. It's on the last now. Royston plays it. Again, they go down the short side. Larder looking for a double. He's over the line as he got it down. The referee consults his officials. He's got his second try of the night, David Larder. He opened the scoring, and now he's popped up with another try.
David Larder's turned into a try machine tonight. Just look at the Featherstone defenders. They haven't gone back. A bad read from Kyle Briggs. And the determination from David Larder to get that ball down. There's a couple of obstacles in his way when he gets over the line and just wriggles his way to put that ball down. This is a fantastic game again on Thursday night.
Well, he was the man of the match on Sky against Widnes in an epic game here earlier in the season. He got 2 tries on Sky against Batley a few weeks ago, and a thumbs up to the Fax supporters on that side of the ground. Now Patterson, who really wasn't a goal kicker until this season, until he took on the goal kicking duties, very much an accidental goal kicker, but what an impressive goal kicker he has been. 122 this season. There is another one from the touchline. What a performance. And it's 24 points apiece now.
Well, he's not done bad to pick that skill up, kicking it from the sideline. That is where Halifax are so dangerous. They've come 100 metres, gone down to the other end of the park, and the big fella David Larder scores the try for Halifax.
Here's Govin now. And we've still got over a quarter of this game to go.
There's absolutely loads of drama still to come here, Bill. Both teams can score points, there's no doubt about that. And both teams can give their opposition an opportunity to do it by giving away penalties. Trying to get out of the way, Andy Kane just strides over Penkovic and gives the penalty away. I'm going to tell you an interesting fact about the town of Halifax. Did you know that Ovenden had the first UK Star Trek fan club? I'm reliably told that by Lee Roberts. Amazing.
Here's Neil Cherryholm.
Your silence was deafening then.
Speechless.
I have no idea what you are going on about.
He's a closet Trekkie.
Bill knows what Star Trek is.
He is a closet Trekkie, is what he's saying. Meanwhile, play continues. Warrency comes back in field. And Warrency, another mazy run from him. Well, if Featherstone Rovers have got their eyes on Rob Warrency, he's doing a fair job of making a good impression. Here's Penkovic.
Oh, they were just too flat then. He was looking for options.
Here he's gone. Bobby was going for the 1 point.
He was shaping for that drop goal.
And then in his fury, he's thrown the ball away and conceded the penalty.
Now that's where you've got to keep your composure. It's gone against Govin there. He shapes with a kick, he loses it, and then you can't throw away the ball.
He's so disappointed with himself. I don't think he's lashing the ball out at anything. Not Spears, not the referee, at himself. Take 2-3 deep breaths, lad.
Two balls on the pitch, so just a pause in the game, and we haven't had many of those this evening.
10 metres, move, hold, go.
Here is Stuart Dickens back on the field and over the halfway line.
2, move, go.
Iestyn Harris now. Harris for Joe Hurst. Hurst
Go.
looking for a penalty perhaps. Kane now. Kane always probing and probing successfully there, looking for some support. Nobody could get there in time.
Go.
Harris now. Harris short pass for Hurst again.
Last tackle.
Hurst once of Halifax earlier in his career. Plays that ball. Here is Kane. Kane, little chip kick. It's not a good one and it's fielded by Larder.
10 metres.
Good play by Larder, not putting himself under any pressure there. He thought the ball was going to go wide. He thought it was going to be a contest on the wing with Warranty. He just took his time and gathered that ball in.
Still trying to come to terms with Ovingdon being a hotbed of Trekkeyism, but they're trying to take it.
Yeah. He's full of facts, Barry. There you go, here's the penalty. Hand on the ball, judged by the referee. It was Andy Kirk. Oh, what are you doing?
That's why Darryl Powell is so great. When he started coaching, when I played with him, he was jet black. Elvis, we used to call him. Look at the kip of him now.
That was 24 years ago.
He's like Father Christmas now.
Well, it is a game to send you prematurely grey, this one is.
Go.
It's a nerve shredder for the supporters and for the coaches and for the players as well. The clock counting down. An hour played, 24 points apiece.
10 metres, go.
Here's Penkovic. And the pace as well really hasn't relented. That's a neat kick from Penkovic outside of the boot. Hardman is there, but so too are the chasers.
Good play and good positioning by Ian Hardman to get back for that ball. Again, Penkovic taking the ball to line ups. Has he got the old Bambi legs? You can see the Halifax defenders coming. He puts his head down, he tries to get down. Govin comes in.
You need to be brave to be one of those back three players, a winger or a full-back. Put your body on the line. Many times the ball's on the floor or in the air, and 2 or 3 blokes trying to get it back off you and jolt it away from your grasp.
Which is what they're trying to do to Tom Saxton there, but he managed to keep a hold of it. Harris, Black very quickly up on him there. 4 tackles gone, and Featherstone Rovers struggling to make territory here.
They've had a good duel tonight. Ben Black and Iestyn Harris.
Kane has time to get the kick in, and that could be out on the full. It is. It's into the building site. First mistake of the night from Andy Kane.
And what's that done to Featherstone? Has that put them under pressure? You don't want to defend down in your own territory when Halifax have got the ball. If you are defending, you've got to control the speed of the ruck. You've got to get numbers in the tackle and peel off and make sure your defensive line is set, ready to come forward.
Halifax, well, they stoke up the lithium crystals, ready for another journey into Featherstone Galaxy, looking for some more points. Roberts, Penkovic now,
Not square.
and a penalty conceded by Featherstone, not square, says the referee.
Oh, Andy Kane could have been penalised again. Then he knocked that ball out of the hand of a Halifax player. Doubling up their efforts on defence now. What's their attitude like?
But again, look at Penkovic. He knows that Kane's not set a marker, so he knows if he gets out, he gets to him. That'll be a penalty.
The 20th penalty of the game, that was. We've still got nearly a quarter of it to go. Here is Ben Black. Black was lost that.
He's lost that
tried
ball.
to offload, and it was Featherstone who were first to react. His Halifax teammates just didn't see that one coming.
Oh, who is going to keep the nerve? Wayne Price trying to get his team going forward now, but Halifax are really turning this screw now. Defensively, they've come out with the right attitude. You can see that Ben Black, he loses the ball, then he tries to pat it back to one of his teammates.
Oh, he's hurt there, Tommy Hockey. Strong challenge from Bob Bezic. And a big kick caught on the full.
Royston will run it straight back. He runs into Stuart Dickens, probably the worst player to pick out to run straight at. And Tamgart now wearing a natty line in head and jaw gear.
It looks like he's got toothache.
Tamgart's obviously got a bang on
There it is.
the chin by the look of things.
It looks like Mr. Bump.
The pass finds Haley. Haley down the sideline. Ball back inside. Smith with the try. And Halifax will go back in front. Paul Smith gets only his third try of the season, backing up that break from James Haley. And wearing the headgear, Paul Smith, who will move on to Swinton next year, gets his name on the scoreboard. Well, he's a maths teacher by profession. We might need him later on, the way this score's climbing.
This game is amazing. A beautiful ball from Penkovic, and Paul Smith backing up on the inside, gets Halifax in this game. Ben Black, short side play. Beautiful pass from Penkovic. Paul Smith jams the ball. Make it so.
And it's the Halifax supporters who are celebrating and now in this seesaw confrontation. And Patterson looking to maintain his 100% goal-kicking performance this evening, which he does successfully. 30 points to 24. At the moment it's within my mathematical range, but Paul Smith might come into play the longer this night goes on. And the two coaches just wondering what their teams are going to come up with next.
Now, can Featherstone handle the pressure? That was good read by Penkovic. You've seen that Wayne Price had really crammed in. Smith following up on the inside. Can they handle the pressure? Can they be disciplined? There's no second chances next week now for Featherstone. They have got to go out and they've got to come up with a big 15-minute performance.
Move!
He's still working out, Bill. They're 6 points in front, you know.
Here's Tamgart.
Go!
Just trying to catch my breath. Penkovic now. Gobbin, and the decision to recall Mick Gobbin has really paid off for Halifax this evening. They would have played him at Barrow in the previous game, but he didn't come through a fitness check, and he has had these injury problems. 3 shoulder reconstructions, Mick Gobbin. He's had knee problems this season as well, but he's out there and doing a decent job for his side this evening, and Halifax ahead. Haley chasing that one for all he's worth, so was Mark Roberts. Black's kick, too strong.
Halifax starting to get on the front foot. They're starting to make yardage up the middle of the park. Even when they go to the fringes, they're starting to bust the tackles. And this is where they will win the game, if they control the speed of the ruck. We say it all the time in rugby. Featherstone players have started not to follow, not to push up with their teammates. If they've got to get back in this game, they need a bit of honesty.
On halfway with the Featherstone Rovers number 7, Andy Kane, but not for long, because he's lost it, and Cherry Holmes picked it up again and got over the advantage line up to the halfway line.
And that's when you start to put your team under pressure. When you're looking at the ball carrier, you're looking who's in front of you, you're trying to come up with the play before you've caught the ball.
That's the third mistake Andy Kane has made. He kicked the ball in touch, gave a penalty away, and he's just knocked that ball on.
But Paul Smith has now come up with the error. tiredness creeping into these players as well. This is the culmination of a long, hard season, one that goes back in terms of the pre-season back to November last year, a campaign that started back in the chilly months, early weeks of February. And here we still are battling it out for a place in the grand final.
Bobby, not square.
Harris, Stuart Dickens now.
It's that tight, this game. I don't know whether it's going to be decided by a drop goal. Both teams going try for try in this second half.
Held cries to referees. Houston plays the ball. Harris, here's Kyle Briggs. Briggs for Hardman, and Hardman onto that ball at pace. But the defence was good. It was a good tackle from Cherryholm, I think it was. Harris on the last, it's a stray pass. Oh, it's been knocked on. It was Joe Hurst, anxious to get on with it, snatching at the ball. He's put it down.
Good defence by Neil Cherryholm. But that's it, was a snatch by Joe Hurst. Again, he was looking at the defensive line from Halifax.
The Halifax supporters, neither set of supporters feeling that confident, that brave to really be too cocky at this stage of the game. Certainly not the Halifax fans. The lead is slender and they've seen it slip away already this evening on a number of occasions. Here comes Warrancy.
Because they know if Featherstone get an opportunity, they'll take it, and they've got the players likes of Andy Kane, likes of Yestin Harris, who can score that try.
Halifax have been here before in this game. They lost this same fixture in 2007 against Widnes. Can they win it tonight? Another try here tonight might well seal it, and Royston could well have scored that try. The referee has not awarded it yet. It's another decision for the video ref, Ben Thaler. But Royston, has he got his second? His first here tonight.
Ian Smith wants Ben Thaler to look at the onside offside. The ball goes up in the air. The Featherstone players aren't prepared to commit to it. James Haley catches it, puts the speculator to Shad Royston. I think this is a try.
Royston had tried disallowed earlier on for obstruction. That one, though, is awarded, and that could have sent Halifax through to the grand final. Black and Royston's celebration seems to suggest they think as much. They might just have killed off this Featherstone Rovers challenge.
You've got to catch the ball on the full, even if you drop it. If a Featherstone player commits to this ball and catches it, the threat's gone. But because they all look at each other, Haley catches it, passes it over the head, that's 6 points. We're in the final, that's what the Halifax fans think. Get in there, lad.
Royston, try number 29 of the season. As you can see, over 100 tries in his career since he came here, the former Cronulla reserve grade player. Now, are we missing out on something? Is there some new sports marketing thing?
It must be his front teeth that are sore as well now.
I think
it's the latest accessory, this is, isn't it?
I think the physio is having a competition with the players to see who can have the most bonkers piece of strapping.
I think that one wins.
I think Mr. Bump wins me.
Well, it's Lee Patterson who's still got to try and kick this goal from the touchline, despite wearing that face protection, and he's landed the kick. What a kicker Lee Patterson has turned out to be. That has put Halifax 36-24 in front. And Shad Royston appreciates just what Lee Patterson has achieved there. And Matt Calland might be breathing a little bit easier now, as might those Fact supporters here at the Shea.
Well, Halifax have really turned up the heat as Featherstone go for a short restart.
And they come up with it, the ball patted back, and Hardman will have it. They've still got 10 minutes on the clock, nearly,
this game
to try and close the gap.
This game isn't over.
There's 10 minutes left, you're quite right there, Baz.
The points will still be scored. I've no doubt that for 10 minutes, neither side will be happy with 12 points difference.
It's the biggest difference we've had all evening, that 12 points. It's been that close so far this evening, but here come Featherstone. Harris for hockey. It's now time for the Halifax defence to stand firm. Kane's pass finds Hardman. Hardman across the field, but good defence led by Bannister. Little shove from Bezic there, that was dangerous. Briggs, the kick into the corner. Warrensey will take it. And Warrensey has lost the ball. Now then, Saxton is claiming something there.
Was he tackled? Was Warrensey tackled?
Well, they were Saxton and Spears in there.
Again, a real pinpoint kick by Briggs.
They're looking for the onside, offside. I think
Well,
they're
you've got to say
onside.
there that they're onside.
I think this is a try.
They're putting pressure on Warrensey. He's standing his ground there. You can see that they're all onside on the right-hand side of your screen. The ball goes high in the air. It's a contest.
Saxton is in there. Spears is in there as well.
I think he bobbles it, drops it.
He just loses control of
That's
that
a
ball.
try.
You can see he goes up here. He doesn't catch the ball. It goes straight between his arms. You can see Spears holding back.
That's Saxton with the tackle. Then Spears arrives.
Spears has kept his focus on where that ball was. He saw that it was dropped by Warrensey. You can see he loses possession there.
Are they seeing whether Tommy Saxton,
If he's obstructed.
yeah, has he obstructed him?
It's
I can't
Spears, it's
see.
the grounding there they're looking at now. Has Royston saved a try? He scored one up the other end. Has Royston managed to defuse that situation by getting his hand on the ball?
I think Spears is the first one to ground this ball.
This is the best angle
can
to
see
view
it.
it from.
Here
Look at the
we
two
go.
wrists with the strapping on.
That's a try.
Ben Thaler has had a busy night, the video ref, and he's awarded the try. Featherstone aren't done yet. Their supporters know that. In a final eliminator that has swung to and fro all evening, Featherstone cannot be written off yet, especially if Yestin Harris, who has landed all 6 so far, can land this one from the touchline. He's been in some pressure situations in his illustrious career. This is another one. It's on target. He's kicked it. Harris keeps Featherstone Rovers alive. Harris and Tim Spears with the try.
And I still don't think this game is dead and buried.
That's an outrageous suggestion.
I'm telling you, I think both teams are still going right to the very last second. Tim Spears has got Featherstone back in this game.
If you were Halifax coach, if you were Matt Callenberry, would you play conservative rugby for the last 8 minutes?
I don't think Halifax are capable of playing conservative rugby.
They don't do that.
I think each team now, with 7 and a bit minutes, wants to score the next try. Halifax, if nobody else scores, Halifax win. But I don't think they think like that.
Well, they've got to make sure that they control the tackle, they don't give penalties away, and they don't give the possession over to Featherstone.
I'm going to put my neck on the block. The next penalty that's given, I think that team will score the try.
Well, these two sides love trading points, and they haven't finished yet. Saxton in possession. And the penalties have been awarded. The ball was ripped out
There you go.
from Saxton's grasp.
Are they going to score this next set of 6, or is Barry going to be beheaded? Here you can see it's Said Tanga who gets his hand in there, gives the penalty away. There you go, Barry, 6 tackles to score.
I have faith in the flat cappers and in Yestin Harris.
And still over 6 minutes to go in this game. Here is Harris. Harris with a little step. Bezic alert to that one. Jack Lee is back on. Dickens. Here is Kane now. Kane finds Briggs. Briggs steps back in field. Good defence. Larder again there. Kane. Here is Stuart Dickens, the captain. Well, I said that Featherstone snatched it at the last when they met in the regular rounds of the championship, and Tonks fancies his chances, charging onto the ball there. He's played that ball and knocked it on. He's made a real mess of that. He's furious with himself.
Oh, trying to get that ball on the Featherstone plays. Oh, you can see it. He's trying. Oh no. Well, Baz, there's Darryl Powell. He looks down in disgust.
And they didn't score. I have no knowledge of that statement whatsoever. Never let the fear of failure stop you doing anything, Tez. That's my motto.
The clock restarts. And the clock is against Featherstone Rovers now. Halifax just have to hold their nerve, hold possession, and they're going to the grand final. Darryl Powell, an international of great experience, has seen it all, but even this must be a nerve-shredding experience for him. He looks very calm and composed. Here is Tamgart. They need the ball back. As Tamgart plays it, squeaky clean. Black's kick, straight into the hands of Hardman, not a good kick. Black under pressure. The chase is good though. Hardman across the field.
No, but there's 5 minutes remaining now, and the Featherstone players have got to get back behind the ball to bring it forward. They need to really work for each other. They're going to be out on the feet. It's been a real ding-dong game.
Wayne Price, and they weren't standing square. Another penalty conceded.
I'm going to make my statement
Well,
again.
I'll give you another chance here.
I'm going to make my statement again.
So you can
Mark has
see
not scored. Dave Wrench could have actually been penalised the tackle before, doubling up your defensive efforts. How strong mentally are Halifax?
Tonks, oh, and
Good
big hit on
stop by
Tonks from
Wrench.
Wrench. We're talking about Darryl Powell having seen it all in 2003 in a cup semi-final with Leeds. They beat Saints in extra time. Could we have extra time here in this final eliminator? Featherstone need to get across that Halifax try line if they're to give themselves a chance of doing that. Golden point extra time it'll be. Here's Briggs, and great defence. It's Tamgart again, I think, with his facial strapping on. Harris, Kane now, Kane on the run. Hurst it is, who's just short of the try line. That's the 5th tackle. Harris is screaming for the ball. They've made a mess of that play, the ball, and they've knocked it on, and it'll be the turnover, and Hockey is furious with himself.
Ian Smith is consistent. He penalised that the other way in the first half. The ball does not go backwards. It stays still on the spot at best. And Featherstone don't do themselves any favours. Spot on, Ian Smith.
Now then, Bob Bezic has got a bit of a knock.
He hasn't.
No, remarkable recovery.
Yep, gets to his feet. Very slowly, and that'll be the watchword for Halifax in these last 3 minutes here. They want revenge. They want revenge on the Barrow Raiders, having been beaten by them 35-12 last week in the qualifying match. It took Barrow Raiders through. This will give Halifax a shot against them. It'll also give Halifax the grand final appearance they need to put on their Super League licence application. As the Halifax chief exec Graham Clay pointed out before the game, there's a lot of money resting on this match. Featherstone were equally determined to tick that box, but it looks, as the clock counts down, as though it's going to be Halifax who have that honour. Coming up to 2 minutes to go then. 36-30 in favour of Halifax, who led the table for so long, then went into meltdown, lost 7 from 11 in the closing weeks of the season. They're not home and dry yet, and their supporters are desperately anxious. So is Darryl Powell.
The last throw of the dice here
Tom
from Featherstone.
Hockey, oh, the pass couldn't reach Price.
And I think that was a knock-on, Bill.
There was a hand in there from James Haley.
I think Featherstone will get this ball again. This next set will be their last throw of the dice.
1.5 minutes.
Is there still drama in the last minute and a half.
There most certainly, surely will be. There's been drama virtually from the word go in this championship final eliminator. Here's hockey. We've had a season of fantastic games in the championship. Not just in the championship, but in Championship 1 as well. The teams have done the competition credit. And it's come down to, well, not come down quite to this, because we've still got grand final day to go on October the 4th. But Matt Calland and Darryl Powell's sides have really run themselves to a standstill here. Yestin Harris with the fumble. Was there an opportunity for Featherstone Rovers there? We'll never know. They packed the scrum quickly.
There was an opportunity. Stuart Dickens gets this ball away, and unfortunately, Darryl Powell looks like he's going to have an heart attack any minute now. Matt Calland won't be too far behind him. There's such a lot riding on this game. Both sides have given absolutely everything.
Heads in, bud. Heads in, bud.
Yestin Harris draws down a very successful club career.
Time's still off.
Scrum just taking a bit of time to form, and now the clock is stopped, but just 45 seconds on it. Featherstone go for the shove, but Bezic picks the ball up at the base of it. Tonks wrestles him to the ground, hoping to jolt the ball free. Couldn't do so, very nearly came loose, but Bezic slowly to his feet. What a contest this has been. High shots. Beg your pardon, there was a knee in there, I think. Tonks, the frustration getting to him.
Tonks has been very physical in the last couple of sets of 6. He knows he needs to jolt that ball away. He needs the ball back. He can't get it back if the penalty is awarded.
And the Halifax supporters now are celebrating. They know they're going to a grand final. The clock is ticking down. Their side eventually is going to triumph here tonight. But what a battle it has been. On the last tackle, Gleeson in possession. The Halifax players celebrate. A season's work will come down now to the final 80 minutes at the Hallowell Jones Stadium in Warrington on October the 4th, when they'll face the Barrow Raiders. But they have been pushed all the way by this Featherstone Rovers side. The lead going to and fro between the two sides. Featherstone at one point 16-6 ahead. And Hockey and Bezic, a few moments ago, ferocious rivals out there, salute each other's courage. It has been a monumental effort from these players. Somebody had to lose, and Matt Calland knows that. Look at the breath of relief he exhales. It's the Halifax players who are celebrating.
He knows, as well as the Halifax players know, that they've been pushed every inch of the way by a very determined Featherstone side, who, as we mentioned in the first half, it finished neck and neck, but Featherstone definitely had the upper hand. They got on the scoreboard very early and made Halifax think a little bit. Halifax, man for man, would have fancied the chances turning up today, but they were pushed every inch of the way.
It hasn't been a happy hunting ground for Halifax in the playoffs. They lost in 2007 in this fixture. In 2005 they lost. They've made it this time, but they have been pushed all the way, as Barry said, by a Featherstone Rovers side who were determined to come from 6th all the way to the grand final. They nearly got there, and they were driven by Yestin Harris, who's got the vote for the man of the match. 7 from 7 he kicked. He did his bit. The scar's there to prove it. He's with Rod.
Yestin, Barry McDermott's man of the match. There's the trophy that goes with it, if you want to take hold of that. Terrific effort, particularly with the goal kicking. A real case of so near yet so far.
Yeah, it was. We've had a couple of tough games over the last few weeks, so it's probably a little bit too far for us. I thought Halifax were pretty good tonight, and we challenged them in parts, but I thought our kicking game just let us down. We kicked far too many balls dead and give them opportunities, but you know, I think it's been a good run from us, and we're just one short, but I think they could take a lot of credit, the boys, and I think they'll be pretty happy with what they've done.
You say one game too far, but let's be fair to you and the rest of the players. You were still going at it there. There was no hint of petrol running out towards the end of that game.
No, there was, and we probably weren't as clinical as what we've been, and we made a lot of mistakes, silly mistakes in poor areas, really, and you can't do that in semi-final football, and I'm sure they'll grow stronger from that, Featherstone now, and next year with a few added players in there, I think they'll have a good chance.
Just a quick one, is this the end for you now at Featherstone Rovers? People tell me it is.
Well, I think everybody's making a decision on my career apart from me. I haven't made my mind up properly yet. My body still feels okay, and I'm enjoying the rugby at Featherstone at the moment, so I'll make a decision in the next couple of weeks.
Good man, Yastin. Just tell us where your £100 for the charity's going.
We'll go to Steve Prescott's fund.
Lovely, thank you, Yastin, well played. Let's bring in Shad Royston, whose try in the end decided this game. Shad, that was a tremendous tussle to watch. What was it like to play in?
Oh, mate, you know, you want to play in these big games, and that's what it's all about. You know, all the hard work all year comes down to this, and we're just over the moon, mate. You know, grand final, that's what it's all about, I think.
Your try put you 12 points clear, and it looked all over them, but they came straight back at you again. Were you surprised by that?
I'm never surprised by Featherstone. You know, they're a tough team, and they've got guys that just don't give up. And you know, I think it's down to the guys. You know, my try probably sealed it, but it's down to us. It's 17 of us out there, and we all played well. So, you know, that's all that matters.
Well played, Shad. Let's bring Matt Calland in. Matt, just sum up your emotions for us, because the relief stood by your bench there at the end was touchable. Was it felt by you in the coaching box?
Yeah, I'm just so proud of the way we defended tonight. You know, they've scored 2 tries off kicks on last players. It just shows that, you know, if you had to score against you, know, but that's what's let us down recently. Our defence has been so poor. I'm so pleased you turned it on tonight. It's such a big game, because I thought Featherstone were absolutely outstanding in the first half. You know, they're a really good team, and you know, it could have gone either way. Really nerve-wracking from a coaching point of view. Just so glad, you know, to be in the final. We've took so much stick as a team. You know, we started off the season so well. We've hit a bad patch recently, but now, you know, it's nice to see us back in a big game.
Just tell us how you're going to turn around what was a 35-12 defeat at Barrow when you come to play the same opponents in the grand final, Matt.
Say that again, sorry?
How are you going to turn around that defeat at Barrow from the other week?
Oh, well, we'll have to recover from this game, and then we'll look at Barrow. You know, Barrow are a really good side. They've got Rooney in, they've got the 4 lads from Oldham. They're really well organised, and I'm sure the game will be a cracking game of rugby league.
Thanks, Matt. Good luck in the final.
No worries.
A very calm Matt Calland. How can you be calm after a game like that? What a fantastic advert that was for the championship, and a credit to both these sides. And it was Halifax, Matt Calland's Halifax side, who triumphed in the end by 36 points to 30. Dave Larder getting a couple of their tries. Black, Bezic, Smith and Royston the other try scorers. Patterson 6 from 6. And on the other side, Harris getting 7 from 7. Phenomenal effort from those two sides, Terry. I mean, we'll struggle to see a finer game in the playoffs, full stop. Super League or Championship
An absolute classic, and you can see that the absolute devastation on the Featherstone players' minds, because they're just gutted. They've given absolutely everything to this game, but Halifax, they play the game with so much speed. You can see Yastin Harris going round, talking to his teammates. Matt Calland, he's the triumphant coach. He'll be going. He's got a score to settle with Barrow next week.
Well, that was a good question from Rod. I mean, how are they going to reverse a 35-12 defeat against Barrow? What are they going to have to do differently?
What they've got to do when they play against this Barrow side, because they're big, because they're physical, they like to dominate the middle of the park. Halifax are probably one of the most quickest sides in this competition, with Penkovic, with Black, with Bob Bezic. They've got speed around the ruck. With Warranty on the wing, they can come up with a break from anywhere. And Dave Larder having a real big impact in this game as well.
Well, yes, he did 2 tries from Larder, some crucial tackles as well. And if Halifax can shore up their defence, they've shown again tonight, as they have done throughout this season, they can score points.
Well, if we look in the earlier stages of the game, it was when they were giving the penalties away. It was the ill discipline that was costing them that field position, and that's what they've got to improve on. When you're playing finals, again, it's like tonight, you get one chance at it. Everyone wants to win some silverware. They want to look back in the career and say, yes, I was a part of that winning side. And that's what these Halifax players want to do. They're going to be playing against Barrett, and I think that is going to be an absolute cracker of a game.
Just a quick word about Yastin Harris, who really did pull the strings for Featherstone this evening, and a great performance. But is that his swan song?
Well, I was listening to Yastin in the interview, and he said that Featherstone, they will be good next year. And that, to me, says that he may have played his last game for Featherstone.
What a game it was as well, because he's been part of a fantastic match here, and there's